Couple things that I noticed after starting to live in this Zen temple. One is 5S. To remember this in Japanese, it's about the housekeeping and organization, cleanliness, sweeping, and then have a good habit. So everything in my room, I have quite a few of them, but organize it. One of the idea about the Toyota production system or just-in-time or lean production is if everything is made visible and in such a way that when things are needed, at the time when it's needed, you supply, you get it. So just in time. So it's meant to be for the production, but it applies to information processing, in how you organize files and stuff like that. But how you use your brain, the mind, and also the whole body. If you think about it, all the nutrition goes to where it's needed, when it's needed, the amount it's needed. Or the oxygen, or the blood. Anything happens in our body and the mind can be processed with this idea of just-in-time lean or Toyota production system. I didn't recognize it as much. Even I wrote the book, I had the idea, because in the book I mentioned information processing has to apply the same concept of just-in-time. Required amount, required time, required amount and time and location, or whatever. So things are happening, and in nature's way, they don't waste. So Toyota production system is waste elimination, and that's what nature does. And we have to live like that. When you think about a Zen monk life, and if you actually have experienced that, I've been in different temples, and one thing that's obvious is that it's the minimum. Everything is at the minimum and self-explanatory. If you know it, you see it. If you don't know it, you don't get it. Even housekeeping in the sense of sweeping. I worked in Kobe, Zen Temple. Stayed not long time, but I had the sweeping of the garden. And there's a lady who can do tremendous amount. Me, when I was sweeping, it took only, let's say, 2 hours or something. And she does it maybe 4 hours, 5 hours, meticulously and everything. So when it's done, there's a big difference. Why do they do that? That's the idea of sweeping. But that's one of the Buddha's disciple, forgot his name, but he was a retard. He couldn't remember things. But he was asked to do the cleanup, sweeping. And he was enlightened. Enlightened in the way, the nature's way. You may not think about it, and I'm just recognizing it. I've been saying it, but on this point of sweeping, of keeping organization, everything the same thing, 5S. 整理整頓、清潔清掃、しつけ, all start with this. And I'm looking at my room again. It's the second day. Start to clean up where it's needed, when it's needed. Everything else, put it in one area. You don't have to throw away, but organize it in such a way that have a system of how you operate, and everything else not pointing the mission, accomplish the mission, put it on the way, on the side. This is profound. And nobody will tell you. In Zen Temple, they don't tell you much. You just have to figure out. But the situation is there. Walk in, what's where, how to do it, with a big ring, bell, and hitting the wooden plate. It is developed to the point that you learn to do it on your own. That is a requirement, because if you look for something else to tell you, you are missing the timing. Internally, nature's way would have you that skill to process if you don't have your brain get into the way as much. So you focus to live, and in addition to it, have a mission, like may all beings be happy, and everything is go into that direction, how to live. To accomplish the mission, like may all beings be happy. It's possible. If you don't want to do that much, maybe your mission is surfing, that's okay. Do something what you really like, your heart desire, move on that. And if you look at the surfers living in a very poor condition, but they love it. They have the mission, they devote everything, minimize anything unneeded, and live accordingly. Have a good morning, good day. Throw away the waste. In 15 minutes we're gonna sit. But I just thought that I will mention this because I forget. Maybe the way I explain may not be clear, but you may have some idea. That's the beginning. Work on it, and you feel good. Everything is dedicated to fully bring out the potential to live life. Don't worry about others. Well, organization help others, of course, that's gonna be good. If your mind is clear and make the right decision, that's good. That's the direction. And we have the internal engine and the way already built in for us to be here. Appreciate and move on. Let's do it.